Adobe has finally added depth masking to its programs. Now, depth masking gives capabilities unlike you've ever seen before to edit your photos and to edit only a certain depth in the photo. While this can be used for virtually anything, some of the most practical uses are things like adding fog, adding a little bit of light, darkening a certain part in the scene, and doing so many other things like that. I've really enjoyed using depth masking since its conception, and I've been anxiously awaiting it to come to Adobe programs. Now, in the last update of Adobe Camera RAW, they just added depth masking to Camera RAW. Now, I know you've been able to do depth masking in Photoshop for a little bit of time now, but the way in which you did it was really convoluted and it was a huge workaround, and so I wouldn't really consider that depth masking for the average user. Now, however, they've added a really simple option that you can use on any of your images within the masking tools in Adobe Camera RAW. First things first, it's very odd that they added it in just Adobe Camera RAW and not Lightroom. But the second thing that was really off is the performance of it. And to be honest with you, it let me down a little bit. Let's jump into the computer here and I'll show you exactly why it let me down and what you can do instead of using depth masking in Adobe Camera RAW. For those of you that aren't aware, Adobe Camera RAW is accessed from within your Photoshop, and you go to Filter and scroll down to Camera RAW Filter. Additionally, if you have a smart object, you can double click and that'll open Camera RAW Filter, or if you drag and drop your image into Photoshop here, it will automatically open as the Camera RAW. Now again, this is the most updated version of Camera RAW. 18.3 is what I'm on for today's video. And I've got my image here. I've got, some basic adjustments that I've applied here in Lightroom, and that all looks great. Now, within Camera RAW, if I want to go to the masking tools here, I can click on this button and get access to my masking tools. Now, I've already done a little bit of masking here to this photo, but I want to create a depth mask and maybe create a little bit of light hitting somewhere in the photo. Now, maybe it wouldn't make sense for this photo, but this happens to give me a photo that's a really good example because it shows things that are very close and very far away, which is perfect for depth masking. So you go to create a new mask and you will click here. Then you can scroll down to depth range, which previously this was blurred out or grayed out if you didn't have depth information, but now this option should be available on pretty much any photo. I can click depth range. Now this analyzes the photo to estimate the scene depth, and then I can use the eyedropper to click on where I want the depth to hit in my photo. Let's just select somewhere in the middle around these trees. Now you can see I'm looking at the depth mask. So now it's showing me things that are close to that selection. And it's showing me things that are about in that range, not before or not after. Remember, with any masking tool, anything that's white allows the adjustment to shine through, anything that's black doesn't. So if I go in and increase the exposure here, you'll see how I can just brighten that range. Now obviously this looks terrible, but we'll leave that as is. Now we will go down to show overlay to look at the mask here. And I will show you why this really lets me down. So I can adjust my mask here by sliding this, and this allows me to select a closer or further away part of the image. Now anything that's in between this box within this rectangle or square is going to be fully selected, and anything that's in between the little handle here, these two handles, basically this area right here and this area right here, this is the partially selected area. So if I have this all the way closed down, you can see how my selection is basically all or nothing, whereas I can bring these out to kind of feather the selection a little bit and make it a little bit smoother, which is generally a pretty good idea. Now the problem that I have with this is you can see, like, say I want to select these trees up in here, and maybe I want to select just that area there. Let's widen this a little bit. And now if I go in and I make my adjustment, I'm going to untoggle show overlay. You can see just how harsh this edge is. So the selection is not that great. Now when depth masking was first introduced, I was used to seeing things like this, but with how long depth masking has been around, and Adobe typically when they implement things, they do a very good job, but this seems very poorly implemented to me. I'm not really happy with how that looks. And sure, I can do less on the exposure so it shows less, or I can feather the adjustment a little bit more so that I don't see it. But the point is you can still see that adjustment even at the maximum amount of feather there. So it's not really done well. Now, when I say it's not done well, I'm comparing that to other results. Let's look at a couple other programs that do have depth masking, such as Luminar Neo here, which has depth masking, but it's not super customizable, but it is very easy to use. So when I'm within Luminar Neo, and don't worry if you're not a Luminar Neo user, I'm just gonna show you how this works briefly to show you how much better it is here in Luminar Neo, or the second software I'm gonna show you is DxO. When I'm in here, I can scroll all the way down. And I'm going to use light depth, which is how you use the color range masking, or the depth range masking rather, here in Luminar. I'll just increase the amount all the way so you can see it. And now you can see the depth range mask here. Look how much more detailed that depth range mask is with actually outlining the trees and the leaves that you can see here. Now, of course, you can use this to adjust the feather and really fine tune this, but you can see how I don't have that really hard line on this one because the mask is much, much more selective. Now, alternatively, let's look at something like DxO, which recently just added this in the last month or so. I'm gonna scroll down under DxO and go to levels and curves, and we will just increase the brightness a little bit here. Again, don't worry if you don't understand how this software works. I just wanna show you how their depth masking is a little bit better. We'll go down, add local adjustment, click on depth mask, and select the scene. We'll click in the middle. Now this time we're gonna check this box here and we're gonna go to the black and white mask, which shows the overlay of the mask. Now I can slide this around, and again, look at how much more detailed this mask is here than our original mask that we got from within Lightroom. We look at this mask here, we'll show the overlay. You can just see this mask is hardly detailed at all. There's basically no detail here compared to our color effects here. Look at how much detail is in this depth range mask. So really overall, just really, really disappointing, because when I apply basically the same adjustment, just bringing the levels or bringing the curves up to brighten one particular area of the scene, you'll notice just how much more realistic it looks here in DxO rather than in Adobe Camera RAW. Now I'll show you one more image just to prove that it wasn't a one image wonder. So I've got this photo here. Let's go ahead and open up our Camera RAW filter once again, and then we will go down here. We will click range and open depth range. I want to select a depth that's somewhere behind the tree, maybe about right there. And you can see the depth mask we've gotten is just not detailed. There's hardly any details in there. It's just not going to look good when we make an adjustment, especially with some of this weird banding that's going on here. Even if we feather it out, there's no way to make this look any better. Now when we look over at Luminar Neo, we'll do the same adjustment. You can see, look how much more detailed this depth range mask is over here. I wish we could make that larger, but we can't. But look at how much more detailed that is, allowing me to actually create a realistic looking adjustment here to the photo where you can't actually tell that there's any harsh lines on our tree here, which is the subject. Same thing over here in DxO's color effects in the Nik collection. If I do the same little adjustment here, add a local adjustment, grab the depth mask, and I click somewhere in the scene, then I adjust this, you'll notice how much more detailed the depth mask is here in DxO. So I'm not sure what the deal is. Typically when Adobe adds something, they usually do it better than everyone else, but it does appear that this depth mask feature in Adobe Camera RAW is substantially worse than other software out there on the market. Now I know they're gonna be bringing this to Lightroom sometime in the future, and I'm hoping that they will refine this a little bit better, because depth masking is an incredible feature that you can do incredible things with when it's done correctly. But unfortunately, the way it's implemented now is just not going to work for a lot of photos. So for those of you out there that want to use depth masking in your images, I'd highly recommend checking out something like Luminar Neo or like the Nik collection. I think the Nik collection has a lot more capabilities and a lot more versatility to it. But Luminar Neo is really nice if you just want to add a little bit of light, and it is so simple to use. It's much simpler than the DxO Nik collection. And now this video is not sponsored. I'm not paid by anyone to make this video, but I will include a couple of links and discount codes down below if you do want to pick up Luminar Neo or the Nik collection here. And I'll also include videos that show you the more flushed out full tutorial of how to use depth masking in both of those softwares down below as well. So please make sure to use my link and check out those videos if you do want to pick that up. Otherwise, if you have any questions, comments, or you've used depth masking in Adobe Camera RAW yourself, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Would love to hear from you guys. I do think depth masking is the future of photo editing, so I'm really excited to see what it brings. But unfortunately, right now, Adobe just didn't quite meet the mark when it comes to depth masking. Anyways, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Austin Jackson, and we'll see you guys next time.